Hello. Gonna share this with my friends. I am so excited. Hope I don't cry, but if I do, it's meant to be. I just love you all. Definitely want to send a shout out to some of my really close girls, close family. I love you guys so much. So much has happened. So much is changing. I'm really just excited to share my life with all of you, to really be me, and to invite all of you on this upcoming journey. So, as let's see, send a couple more. Facebook really knows who I want to invite, because as soon as I hit that invite button, it's like, oh, all of my bestie, lovely ladies you guys all popped up. So I got about 10, 15 of you in there. This list just keeps going on forever. But definitely want to share my heart with some of you today. I know some of my close friends, family, they have reached out to me, shared their feelings with me, shared some desire to learn. Okay, let's see, how do I get out of the invite? All right, hey Dave, nice to see you. Don't know who else popped up on there while I was inviting. Let me see if I have some good light. Hey babe, Ryan's got on there, he's still at work. Let me move some things around. Are we at 3 o'clock? Oh, one more minute. Good. Want to make sure we have some good lighting. Make sure we have a clean screen. All right. It is Monday, November 2nd. Gosh, where did this year go, people? That's a really big one. Really, really big one. So much time has passed, and due to situations, we all have not done or experienced the things that we thought we would be experiencing this year. So I'm just gonna get nice and comfy up here and really just get ready to share my heart with you guys. I don't know if any of you saw my post yesterday or this morning in regards to why I was doing this and what my goal was. But we'll go ahead and get started and let you guys know. I'm here because I believe we all have a story. I believe that after what we've all been through in 2020, that we have an even bigger need for all of us to begin to use our voice in a different way. And I love sharing. I love sharing my stories. I love sharing whatever I have around me if you need it. And that's where I come from. I come from a family of people who love to share. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about them today. I'm going to start out with just some basic information on my childhood, where I was born, where I grew up. I really want to bring some awareness, but then bring up some topics that I'm going to continue to explore as the month goes on. And that's the exciting part for me, is that I have a really close network of women in my life right now. And so blessed that I have a calendar put together for this month of Thanksgiving. And between the blue moon that we celebrated this weekend and between the celebration of giving thanks in this world, I really wanted to put my heart out there this month and share with you guys what has held me together and kept me grounded. And so that's what I'll go into once I tell you a little bit about who I am, if you don't know me. Hello to those of you who do. I can see Sharon. She was like my second mom in 3rd grade. So love you. I hope Christy gets a chance to see this. Okay, so I would love to say hi to all of you, but I'll just randomly look up. First off, if any of you feel desire, inclined, or resonate with what I'm saying, please share this message. Right now, we're living in a world where we don't know who needs to hear a message of hope or a message of love. So many people being in quarantine feel alone. So through this message today, I want to start off by inviting all of you to share this. If for some reason you can't because my page is private, let me know if you have the desire to share it and I can send you the downloaded copy afterwards. So my name is Nicole Lynette Vasquez, born in Bakersfield, California on May 5th, 1982. I believe I was born, oh, I might get this wrong. I've been looking it up, 3:41 a.m. in the morning or 6:02 a.m. I got mine and Ryan's confused for a little bit. Jen is here. She knows what time I was born better than I do. So, knowing what time you're born and where you were born is actually more important than what you think. So we are going to do a special topic on birth charts, and I'm hoping my sweet sister, 3:41 I was born, thank you. And I'm hoping my sweet sister-in-law is going to be brave enough, I haven't asked her yet, to help me do a live just like this and talk on birth charts and how they have affected our lives and the things that we just enjoy learning about the stars. The stars have been here long before man, long before many creations. And so the more that we can learn from them, right? I'm always looking to learn. So, of course, that's where I was born. My parents really didn't live in Bakersfield. I grew up for the first 5 or 6 years down in mid-Southern California. It was Mojave Desert. Cal City is where my parents are at now. And so that small desert community, I still, oh, you are silly. She lied to me. I still consider that, part of my home, part of my heritage. My grandparents lived there and owned a house there. And so if any of you like to reminisce driving back by Grandma and Grandpa's house, that's where I would go. And that would be my place. But after about kindergarten, my parents began to move, heading up north. And at this time, I remember in my childhood just being very happy and carefree. I loved being outdoors. I loved playing. I played differently. I think I played outside and with things that weren't physical. I never was into Barbies or baby dolls or anything like that, really. I remember loving like grass and snails and just mud and the wind and the rain. Talking about this, I knew it was going to bring up more memories for me, but instantly right there, just really knowing at a very young age that I love to be outdoors and to be happy. At that time, I had an older sister. We were the only two. And right as we were moving, very close to us moving, my little brother was born. So there was 3 of us in the family and 2 parents, and it stayed that way. I did not come from a broken home, not like the other 50% of American children today. But we had a great childhood. My mom always put us first and put her time invested in making sure that she was at home. Thankfully, I never came home to an empty house on a regular basis anyways. I know it's perfectly normal every once in a while. My kids do it now. They're older, but being a younger child and knowing that mom was there, it was a sense of security for me, for sure. And I really appreciated that. So thanks, Mom. And after that, just really growing up in Hollister. So that's where we ended up living, which was a beautiful place. It was about 3rd grade. We had moved to a little city before that up north, but that didn't last very long. And it was just nice. We lived in such a small agricultural town. I had some amazing friends like Christy and Christina and Alex, and just a very, very light childhood. Kelly McNamee was my best friend for so long, and she lived so close to me. We would walk through the orchards to get to school. Just really had one of those very simple, peaceful childhoods. I was very naive to a lot of the adults around me, and didn't put a whole lot of time and attention on what they were doing with their lives and who they were and what was important to them. Um, I enjoyed being out and away and exploring and having fun, and it was great. I remember one personality trait that I had back then, that I still continue and understand a lot more today than I did before, was the need to ask why. Why? My dad would probably be able to tell some pretty good stories of how many times I would ask him why over the same topic, the same conversation. And because he had one of those minds where he could definitely go down the rabbit hole, it was probably very fun for me to just constantly ask him why. So, as an adult now, I realize how important it is to live in the state of being inquisitive. That was a big lesson. I'm so thankful for some of my mentors and the lessons they've taught me. I've been able to take some of my natural abilities, some of the things I was born with as an adult, and identify these things and create strengths because of them, because of the mentors and the guidance and the tools that I've received. So let's see. Childhood overall, I think that it's kind of funny. I think we all identify with our zodiac signs. For me, being a Taurus, it was just like hit the nail on the head for sure. Stubborn for sure. Um, Definitely wanted to prove my point because part of my strength and my weakness is knowing that I'm right. So when you always think you're right, and then let's go with a strong more than 50% of the time you are, it is very hard as a child or as a young adult to be able to decipher when it's appropriate, right? So now we can get into those boxed rules of who we're supposed to be as human beings. So as a child, we are told what is appropriate to express and what is not. Well, for me, that was do not express when you are right and adults are wrong, or that will get you in trouble. Ouch. I don't do that to my children. My daughter loves to express when she is right and we are wrong, and we are more humbled by her ability to do so. Now, we have taught her to do it in a polite manner, which is huge, because a lot of children will do it, and without the proper guidance, they will begin to do it in an egotistic manner, which then in the long run, which is a whole nother topic, will end up harming that child, and they will become an adult who needs to constantly be right and prove themselves right. So the ego, that is a huge thing to explore between your childhood, your adolescence, your adult life. What parts of your ego are helping to protect you in a positive way? What parts are helping to protect you in a negative way and stopping you from growing and moving on? Um, so anyways, yeah, just really starting to identify what parts of my natural self were helping me, lifting me up, strengthening me, and protecting me. What parts of my natural self were holding me down, setting me back, or causing me to not be aware of how I was treating other people. That was a big life lesson for me last year as well. Um, so, you know, I was very, very blessed at a young age to be able to identify love. Um, I always had this feeling in my heart of what love felt like. My parents exposed me to it. I had some great friends who helped me out in very hard times, and they exposed me to it. And so I always had this desire, this feeling that I could find love, that I knew what love was, and that I could share love with other people. Um, that has been so huge in my life. Just a really, really magnetic force constantly pulling me in that direction. Love, light, and sharing that love and light with others. And helping others to find their love and light has now become my goal, my passion in this world. So of course, right, my senior year, right in the middle of high school, and just having all those wonderful feelings of self and who I wanted to be and what I wanted in life, I fell in love and I found Ryan Mead, which most of you know. Um, And it was puppy dog love. It was crazy, head over heels love. It was all those things you read about in a storybook. Um, and I'm so, so thankful because in that moment, I knew there was a big shift coming in my life. High school, 18, 19, 20 years old. And he was my rock and he was my stability. Um, he knew a part of me that I was looking for, and he saw that in me. And of course, back then I had no idea, none at all, but knowing that he had that love available for me and ready to give to me freely, um, was like no other. Not gonna cry. So, really understanding at that time that my life could be opened up to a new type of love. This was not a parental child love. This was not a lustful, desirous type of love or envious, materialistic type of love. This was a self accepting, elevating self type of love. And again, rocket, let's go in that direction. Let's do this. This is what life was meant to be. Um, Now in hindsight, I've realized that I've allowed my higher self, my creator, to guide me through my life. That's what most people call being a free spirit. But what I would say is it's being connected with yourself and being connected with your highest source. But that was kind of the beginning of this whole free spirit kind of movement of my life, that I decided not to go to college. I decided not to take that Western medicine, that Western society approach on life. I loved health. I loved mental health. I was majoring in psychology at that point, which is why I chose Fresno State. But that was not me. That was not my spirit. That was who, again, I was told I should be. I wore this shirt today on purpose. It's designed by someone who loves to say you could. Taught me this word very strongly last year. And so at that point, no one was saying, Nikki, you could do this and you could do that. A lot of adults at that time want to tell you what you should do. And unfortunately, I didn't want to do those things. So I kind of went my own way, twisted the tables, turned them a little bit, and decided, okay, I'm going to go get married. Why not? Why not just be an adult? Let's start this adult life that everyone keeps telling me about. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. You got to have this, you got to have that. Box, 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 boxing me in. So I did it. Ryan and I, we got these plans, we got these ideas. We're going to do this. We're going to get married. We're going to have kids. We're going to buy a house, white picket fence, boom, boom, 2 dogs. Let's do it. So, make a long story short, it's here. We have our 3 beautiful children, 1 in heaven. We went through the ups, we went through the downs, we went through the ins, we went through the outs. And we are homeowners by the age of 40. We got the 2 white dogs in the backyard. Still working on the white picket fence in the front yard, but that'll be soon enough. But you know what? That wasn't what life was all about. That wasn't the end game. That wasn't the goal. That's just what we were told, It's like, have money in the bank, did that too. Like, get out of debt, did that too. All these rules, all these ways, these perceptions that mankind have been living with and reproducing people to believe these rules. So, me, my rebellious, stubborn self, have always thought, I can find a better way to do this. I can find a different way to do this. I can live my life, achieve happiness, achieve success, achieve whatever may come, but I can do it my own way with a different twist, a different level of happiness. So when I became a mom, I really stepped outside of the box. I realized within the first 6 months of having my beautiful daughter, Cheyenne, back in 2004, that I couldn't trust the people I thought I could trust. Western medicine. I would take her to the doctor. Nobody was really helping me out, telling me just wait it out. I started to question things right then, right off the bat. I knew I wanted to go ahead and do the whole immunization thing with my children because I didn't want to fight the schools. I didn't want to have to jump through those hoops. And truthfully, I mean, I didn't want my kid to get polio. I did not want to have to say to myself, I could have done this, but I chose not to. And now my child's, being affected by that. However, now, spin 15 years forward, whoa, finding out why vaccines were created back in, I think they were really pushed in the 60s, 70s. For our generation, I was born in 82. Whoa, human control, human population control, to start hearing these things in the background media today, learning why people wanted to start immunizations with children. So just boom, right? New truths, new realities coming out in this world. But as a mom 15 years ago, I thought I was making the best choice for my children. So did that. Then started to wake up a little bit more and go, okay, what do I want my children to be exposed to? I knew at that point the one thing that was the strongest force in my life was my Creator. At that time, I called him Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ, which I still do, just in another adapted form. But I knew at that time I needed that spirit to have a background in my life. I keep holding my angel wing here. This is a reminder of my first baby, our first baby that we lost. And so I knew that I wanted to have, and chose to have some sort of spiritual connection with my children and what I thought at that time was church and religion. And that was going to be who was providing that. So, in other words, I've changed. I wanted my kids to go, but question. I wasn't raised in the church. I didn't know what these people were going to be teaching my kids. But I remember multiple times I told them, I said, go to primary, go learn, go read the scriptures, but pray for yourself. Learn, discern for yourself. Since I can even remember wanting them to want to go to church and understanding what church was all about, it always meant connecting your spirit with your Creator. And when you learn something in that building, you learn to question it with your Creator before you take it as your own personal testimony. So that was different. A lot of parents were not doing that. I haven't really spoke openly about that with any of my friends in the church. So if you're seeing this for the first time and you feel inspired to talk to me about that, please do. But another thing was at school. Some of these teachers were teaching my kids things using old textbooks, using old ways of thinking, and I would tell them the same thing. Well, skin is not your largest living organ. They can go look that up in the textbooks. Maybe they need some new material. It's now your fascia. You see, I know these things, not from college. And it's always been this constant journey of trying to get to know myself, but trying to discern between what I truly believe and what this outside world is trying to get me to believe. Now, something else I didn't mention was back when I first had my daughter, I stopped watching the news. Totally shut down the news. I remember thinking to myself, I'm not watching scary movies anymore. I'm not doing dangerous things anymore. And I'm not watching the effing media. Because truthfully, at that point, all that I saw and all that I knew of was they're talking about kids being killed and murdered. They're talking about, let's just use the word bad guys, another box that we were taught. And so it's like, yeah, I did not want my brain at that time to be exposed to negativity. And this was something I knew was important, creating life. So this is huge to think about. Here I am creating another human being inside of me, having this human in front of me. And the strongest thing that I'm realizing is that I need to protect them from all this negativity in the world. I needed to protect myself because I needed my mind to be right and to be there for my kids. That is huge. How many mothers out there? I know my sister-in-law is a huge, huge, huge supporter of mothers who love and respect their children. There's mothers out there, a whole lot of mothers out there. A lot of them don't respect their children. A lot of them don't respect themselves, i.e., they don't respect their children. A lot of them do not show love or know how to show love to their children, which then in turn affects their children and their children's ability to show love. So, as a mother, I knew it was very important to do these things, to show love, to show respect, and to be the example of those things to my children. I would never expect my children to respect me if I had not shown them respect first. So, very big, very different, very open-minded, open box way of thinking. Started parenting my kids outside the box. I was like watching Nanny 911, watching all those different, parenting shows on TV, because I swear, right there between like 2004, 2010, there was a ton of parenting shows all over the TV. There was a Jewish rabbi who would teach on parenting and what he suggested to do. I love that. And instead of watching regular news, I started watching CBN, Christian Broadcasting Network, which I think they're still in existence. So yeah, if you're looking for an alternative form of information, there's a lot out there. Do not need to watch the news. So yeah, it was very alternative form of receiving information, very alternative form of sharing information, of believing information. And then social media started to hit, right? Facebook became really popular. MySpace wasn't really a thing. So, but that's life. Got through that. Had two beautiful boys between that space of California and Utah. And my boys brought a whole new light into my life. Cheyenne brought a lot of femininity into my life. My boys brought a lot of masculinity and testosterone into my life. But I had an amazing time having toddlers and just being with my babies. And Ryan was so supportive of me being home every day and doing that mom life, whether I showered or not, whether I had dinner made or not. He was always supportive and, loving and understanding. And we're going to do a few segments teaching on marriage and being married for 19 years, defying the odds of course, being married right after high school, losing our first child, having a confidential marriage, moving out of state, filing for bankruptcy. There's been a million things that we could have, given up over, but we didn't. And we want to share that story and share that passion that we have for marriage, for unity, and for life on another day. So, getting into this, okay, so I've been a mommy, this is great, and now my youngest baby he's growing up. Some things are changing. He is now going into, at this point in my life, he's going into 4th, 5th grade, and 4th grade it was, and I'm like, I need to do something. This is his last year, and I need to have, something else in my life. Like, no more PTA. I was PTA president at the time. These thoughts are going through me. Like, okay, can't be PTA president forever, especially not elementary school when my kids aren't there anymore, right? What am I going to do? So, got a gym membership, went in with Lisa, Agnes, my 2 workout buddies, did the weight loss challenge, and it was fun. It was cool. Got some abs, got some flex on, and realized, okay, I can stay fit. And so it's been over 2 years now. I've maintained my weight. I've maintained my abs. When I want them, I got them. When I'd rather eat. And I know how to do that now. So if you need help with 5 or 10 pounds, if you need help with maintaining weight, maintaining exercise routines, energy, that's going to be another topic. So watch for that. Self-care, self-love, self-acceptance. Got an amazing show program set up for you guys. So, anyways, going into this point of my life, I'm like, who am I? These words of self-love, self-care started popping up. How do I figure out what I need to do for me in order for me to love me? So I thought, let's go to the gym. And then I found some really fun classes that started to shift who I was on the inside. One of them, of course, big shout out to L-Dub. I love to dance. I love to dance in an environment where I can feel the music, where I can feel the vibration and the energy of the instructor and the people that I'm dancing around, the love that they bring to the dance floor. It's unity, it's happiness, it's joy. That's what I bring to the dance floor anyway. So I know they feel that from me, and I know that's what our instructor brings, and I know that's what many of the women bring. And so as we spread out and we dance and we flow and we love, I mean, that is true happiness. So going to the gym to dance at least twice a week, hopefully 3 times a week, and also a class of restoring our physical body. A lot of us are living with pain, lack of mobility in our joints, inflammation, and I found this class called The Fashionator, taught by an amazing woman called Jeannie Christofferson. And she taught me to love my body on a whole new level. What we do in this class is we physically cause pain to our bodies. I'll just be honest with you. It is a type of very, very deep tissue massage. And if you're familiar with that, when you get into some of the more sensitive places in your body, you know that that physical touch on a deep level, it takes some deep breathing. And that's okay. We work on our breath there. We work on the fact that our breath is what I like to call lubrication of energy for the body. That is one of the things my mentors taught me. And so as we use this breath, we begin to experience life in a new way, being able to restore our body and to come to a higher level of physical health through releasing energy really caught my eye. So I don't know where you live or where you are, but I would encourage you to Google fashionator.com, Fascianator, and there should be a schedule on there. Of course, DM me if you didn't catch that. And learning about taking care of the physical energy that you store in your body is the beginning, for me, was the beginning of learning that I store energy in my fascia. When I go through a painful moment in life and I don't release that, that painful energy is stored somewhere in my body. Right? Your mind's going to explode. Be careful. So as you learn to take care of yourself, as you learn to heal yourself on a deeper level, new doors, new windows, and new paths begin to open up. So as I'm learning to take care of myself and I'm taking this class, I had been in the class for about a year, I decide, okay, I'm getting certified. I want to teach this. I want to share this with the world. And so I was enjoying working out, but I was done with the weights. I was done with, getting buff and caring about that. I was down for dancing and fascia, and that's where my life went. Those were my priorities, the gym and the sauna. If you know me, sauna, yes. Sauna is amazing. I just love the heat. That's why I live in St. George, Utah. Okay, so back to this. So I learned about fascia, and I start having testimonials from my clients. See, I didn't have any major health issues. I just liked the idea of my back not hurting from having 3 10-pound babies. And so I was like, okay, eventually my pain will go away. I knew that was going to take time, and I'm all about time, patience. I'm good with that. But some of my clients, they would do a 2-hour session with me and be pain-free within 3 days after like surgery and physical therapy and trying all these other modalities and still living in pain. I had now found a way that I could help people to get rid of their pain. Yeah, I was pretty thankful. I was feeling pretty stoked, pretty loved, pretty capable of doing good in this world. So, I had to be shown how important I was. And a big crisis hit my family. last year, almost 2 years ago now, in March of 2019, my son was severely burned from head to toe. And it helped me to see who I truly was, what I was truly capable of, and where my life was headed. It was a big turning point. Thankfully now I will tell you, he's just as beautiful as he ever was. $1 million face. He's back in action. And he's great. And he's not scarred mentally, energetically, or physically. He's an amazing, resilient human being who is going to serve this world with his magnificent energy at an extremely, extremely high level one day. But until then, I was forced as a mother to feel things that I'd never felt. And it really showed me the possibility of forgiveness. On a later date, I'll probably do an entire live based just on Quentin's story. But for now, I want to make sure I have his permission, maybe when he gets a little bit older, to do that. But it was not his fault that he was burned. It was not my fault, his mother. It was not his father's fault, or anyone in our family. This burn happened by an outside friend who came over to our home and did this accidentally. When something like this happens to your family, a lot of choices pop up. You have the choice to blame your spouse, the one who was in charge of the children. You have the choice to blame the child who brought over the material and accelerated it. You have the choice to blame the parents of the child. You have the choice to blame yourself, whether you were there or not. You have the choice to blame... I'm scratching my head, I would never do this. You have the choice to blame your Creator, Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother. So, in that moment in life, I was given many choices. Now, coming from my childhood and the person I was then, I would not have experienced that moment the same way. But because of the tools that I had found in my life, because the person that I had become as an adult, when that moment hit, I was able to make choices that changed the next year of my life. So, in this moment, I want to reach out and encourage all of you who may be holding on to pain, who may have heartache, loss, or any type of sadness. I ask you to release it, that in this time of new beginnings, with the full moon and with our human collective moving into the beginning of a new year, let's all work together during these next 2 months to bring forgiveness and unity to our love, our family, and our friends. Forgiving yourself through self-love and self-care. Forgiving those around you through reaching out to them, making sure they know how important they are to you. Don't ever let a moment go by without sharing your heart and your love for somebody. I'm so thankful for the lesson that I have learned through the challenge of my child going through that experience. Not only was the opportunity to forgive presented before me multiple times, the opportunity to stand up for myself was presented in a very, very difficult way. I had never before yelled at a nurse or a doctor. I was not that kind of person. I had never before raised my voice. I mean, in such difficult times in a hospital with staff, but doing it for the right reasons. Doing it so that my child looked at me and said, "Thank you, Mommy. Thank you for telling that doctor to stop hurting me." Because so many times in this world, we are forced down by authority. We are silenced by authority because they know better. No, they don't. But we're taught to believe they know better, which is why we silence ourselves, why we allow that to happen. So, I know now how strong my voice is. I know how strong your voice is, and I know how much we need to hear your story. We need to share these stories of overcoming life, overcoming someone trying to shut your voice down, someone trying to shut your story down, someone trying to shut you down, your dreams, your inspirations, your goals. We are constantly battling, constantly in contact with somebody who does not have our best interest at mind. Now, we can continue to live in a world where we believe that if we just stay positive and follow the law of attraction and follow that if I don't think about it, it won't happen, everything will be okay. I believe in that to a certain extent. However, I believe that recognizing the toxicity of the person or place or thing in front of you is the first and most valuable step to this process. So in my adult life, I have detoxed many relationships. I have detoxed many things in my bedroom. I'm a lot less cluttered or disorganized. And just detoxing my words. NLP, learning the power of our words. Detoxing through some of my most favorite things. The energy of crystals. The energy of the rocks and the natural minerals and resources that we have here on Earth. They're here to help us to release, to shift, to transform. So, before I go on, okay, good. I planned on not talking for more than an hour, and I just wanted to make sure I had time to really send out a call to action and to invite all of you amazing women, some of you amazing men who want to speak on these topics. I have some, like I said earlier, beautiful, amazing women in my life that are helping me to be my best me, that are helping other women to be their best selves. And we know and we understand that together, as we begin to create community through unity, not through separation, not through segregation, not through the way the media and some of the big brother systems are asking us to live right now. So we're going to have to venture outside the box of fear. We're going to have to use our voices. Whew, my loves, my loves, my loves. This could be a huge box for some of you. This could be a box with very tall walls and very strong demands. My heart is here for you, and I call you to call on me. That together we will create a community of divine loving souls who want to share and uplift each other's hearts. That we are not going to lay down in this world of pain, this world of fear, and this world of condemning others with authority, with power, or with money. That through new life skills, opportunities, star seeds, way showers, and light seekers, that we can join together. I have some amazing sisters on this live right now. And if you did not make the live, I know you who are meant to watch it, that resonate with my heart, that are on my path, will be watching this as a replay. So I invite you to please comment. Please let me know if you'll be here on a Monday. Please let me know if you'd like to be here with me on a Thursday, where I could interview you and you can share your story of self, love, and any version of that you see fit. So, real quick, I just want to share with you some of the topics that I would love to talk about on self. Self-love and care, self-acceptance, self-expression and awareness, self going into mindset, past, present, and future, thoughts and feelings equal actions and belief, self, higher power, feminine versus masculinity, big one. Self-acceptance in the terms that there are no good and there are no bad. That is a huge, huge lesson. That is a huge box as well, that if you're living in that box constantly saying, is this good or is this bad? Then you need this class. You need this moment. So we will have a great day breaking that down. And then, of course, the shoulds, coulds, and woulds. I'm representing the coulds today, but I used to be a big shoulder. I used to should on myself all the time. I even caught myself shoulding on Ryan the other day, and I was like, oh, and I instantly apologized. So be aware of that. Two things I'm working on at this moment in my fulfillment along with my fitness. With self-love and self-care, I've realized that no matter what my weight was, it wasn't fulfilling. No matter what my flex lines looked like, it wasn't as fulfilling. What is truthfully fulfilling for me? I found my passion. So, part of doing the self-care, part of living the life that I've been living, the life that I want to share with all of you, is what it took and how I got to find my passion and what I want to do with life, how I want to help you. And that's through speaking, sharing stories. I have been to many mentors. I have read some amazing books, mostly on Audible. And I have some amazing, amazing stories to share from myself, from my mentors, and from my friends that I have met and shared my life with. So, I love you all. I am excited for this upcoming schedule. Some amazing women have already agreed to be speaking on Thursdays. If you feel inclined to speak, please reach out to me, and we'll go ahead and keep this self-love, self-awareness, and my story will continue. I am going to continue speaking my story each Monday, now that I've kind of given you an intro to where I've been. A little bit deeper I will go in each topic, and my story next Monday will probably go down a little bit deeper into childhood, sibling placement, and religion, because I feel like those are a huge part of most of our backgrounds and where we're coming from. In order for us to truly be able to have self-acceptance, we have to know what programming and what mindset was put into us back then. Once we're able to identify these mindsets, once we're able to feel who we are, we begin that journey of self-acceptance. And you know what? Sometimes it's a little dark. Sometimes we see some things in ourselves that we don't really like. And I want you to know that's going to come up, and that's okay. We can all share the things that we don't like about ourselves, because we're all human. We all have them. We all do them. And I'm ready to share mine right here, live. with all of you. Half of you I know, half of you I kind of remember, and half of you I've probably never met. So yeah, that was 3 halves. Yeah, but big plans. I love, these are little my brainstorming spider webs. I could do them all day. Once I decided to become a speaker, my thoughts just continue to keep opening up. I have over 20, almost 30 different teaching topics, speaking topics, book ideas. And I want to be here for you. I know that this is my life's goal, has always been to heal myself through healing others. And I love people. I truly, truly, truly love people. I love you so much. So, in closing, I want to offer my heart unto you with a prayer. So, if you believe in closing your eyes, if you believe in folding your arms or putting your hands at heart center, whatever feels right for you, I believe now in raising my hands to all of my higher powers, because I do know that I have more than one. So thank you again for being here with me on this Monday. Those of you who stuck through for the entire almost hour, I love you. I appreciate your light, your support, and together we will continue to build this world of happiness, peace, and fifth dimensional reality. We are currently stepping out of the third dimension and into the fifth. My friends, that is what I call the ascension process, and I am just waking up and learning about it, and that is truly where I will be going and sharing with you. So thank you again. And I'll now offer a prayer in closing. Oh, dear Father, Mother, great Creator and Creatrix, how we love Thee, how we come together this day to pray as brothers and sisters united upon this earth. We come together to create unity in light and love. We are here together to represent Thy fullest meaning of life as sovereign beings, doing as our energy guides us to do in each moment of every day, allowing ourselves to flow freely through this stream of life that Thou hast blessed us with upon this beautiful and sacred Mother Earth. We pray that all will respect Mother Earth and begin to turn their hearts and their souls back unto her. O divine spirits of all those ancestors and healers that come before us, we gather together with Thee for strength and energy, that we may have the tools and the powers that we need to serve, to love, and to light the way for all those who choose the way that Thou hast created. In all things glorious, in all things true, we call upon Thee for love and guidance always, in the name of all things that Thou hast created. We give thanks, especially unto our great Savior, Jesus the Christ, our Master Buddha, our ascended Master Teachers, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, Great Isis, Great Hathor, and so many others. We are touched by Thy spirits this day, touched by Thy love, and we thank You with all the energy that we have. We love Thee. Amen.